And I tell you who's really impressing me is Mark Leonard. What a great bit of business that looks to be. When they were missing Cammy Devlin, they've identified this young guy, and I think that his impact has been really. I mean, the biggest compliment I can pay him is that. Not saying that you don't notice that Cammy Devlin's not there because he's such an important player, but he's done a very similar job for them. Great goal today. I like the way he passes the ball around in midfield. He's always composed. He's always looking to play it forward. I just like the look of him. Could Hearts do with Cammy Devlin and Lon Shanklin back as quickly as possible? Absolutely. Of course, they're going to miss these players. These players are quality players. And you're talking about two players that were sharing the armband at points earlier this season. But it is demanding on Hearts. But they didn't have any Europe and they don't have any cup games. So they will get a bit of breathing space in this run-in. They will get time. They will get players back. I'd be fascinated to know now just how far away Shankland and Cammy Devlin are, because I think Derek McInnes will be desperate to get them back to beef up his options.
I think Braga was brilliant again today. Yeah, Jack. That header was. I mean, where we sit at Ibrox, get a brilliant view of it down at the Copeland Road, and I mean the header. It looked like he was having to contort his body just to get the right connection on the header. He gets above John. He gets above John Souttar, who's at least a head taller than him, and he manages to give Jack Butland no chance with putting it in about the only place he could put it for that angle. I thought it was a brilliant goal, brilliant finish, and again I thought he caused Rangers problems with it.
What he's done there, Scotty, is he's actually got himself. He's managed to get Souttar wrong side, and he's got in front of him, and Souttar's out of position, isn't able to really attack the ball. But that's because he's pinned. Braga's pinned him. It was just brilliant play, and he's not a big tall guy. He's not a guy you would think should be able to live with John Souttar in there. But everything that you said there is right. He's physically managed to pin Souttar and make it impossible for him to attack the ball. It was brilliant play. It was a brilliant game, and it was to and fro. And you're absolutely right, Scott. When I say about Hearts got a bit of a scudding, that's only in the scoreline. It's not in the way the game went. Because the only thing that I would say is at 3-2 Rangers, you knew it wasn't ending 3-2 Rangers. There was going to be another goal, and that goal could have came at either end of the pitch.
Yep, exactly.
Absolutely. Just interestingly, one of the comments says, how much could Hearts get for Braga in the summer? I'm not trying to punt him, but it's just an interesting prospect. What he'd be worth now? I mean, probably the best striker in the country throughout this season.
Well, I think he's probably been the best pound-for-pound signing, I would say, in the Scottish Premiership this season, Daniel. I think they picked him up for next to nothing for the second tier in Norwegian football, and I think he'll have his admirers in the summer. I mean, Hearts will obviously want to hold on to him. They've got him under contract. Hearts will be in Europe next season. But I always go back to Tony Bloom kind of famously told a Hearts fans forum no long after he came in and made his investment. He said, look, don't get too attached to these players because they won't be here long. And that's the model. Braga definitely comes into that category. But in terms of how much they could command now, no, a lot more than they paid for him, put it that way.
Don't get too attached to him, just make up his own song, his own theme tune.
Exactly. Be heartbroken when he goes.
Listen, do you know what? This is the model. And it probably will mean from season to season there'll be a bit of a turnover. But, I'm not sure, that it necessarily will be a big kind of change up every summer. I think part of the plan might well be to try and keep a team together for a couple of years, keep the big performers, because Claudio Braga's price isn't going to go down. Another season like this, and whatever you look to achieve in the market for him this summer, well, who's to say you're not doubling it at the end of the following season? And what are you going to do on the park in that time with Claudio Braga doing what he's doing? Hearts have been an incredible success story this season. Everything about them. And let's not forget, they've got beat today. They're still top of this league. They're still in pole position.
That's why I'm saying they shouldn't lose heart, Jack. As you say, I think they were well in the game today for at least an hour and caused Rangers no end of problems, especially in that first half. So of course they'll be disappointed with the 4-2. And Derek McInnes, so there'll be things he's unhappy with, but I don't think he'll be too downbeat. Honestly, I mean, they've already beat Rangers twice this season. Rangers had to win this game. In terms of sheer necessity, Rangers were always going to be up for this, in terms of the crowd and that as well. And the fact they've came here and they've scored twice, been well in the game, competed, I just don't think the Hearts should lose faith in what they're doing. They'll be looking at it. I think it flashed up a wee minute ago about the Hearts fixtures. I think they've got 4 out of the next 6 at Tynecastle. They know Hearts and Rangers and Celtic have to come to Tynecastle post split. Honestly, I don't think I think that'll be the message. I've not heard Derek McInnes' post-match press conference, but I think the message to his players has to be, look, dust ourselves down and go again. It's a defeat against a good team away from home. It's going to happen. They've not lost many games this season at all. I think they'll go again. But as Keith said, they are missing. I think they are missing Shankland and Devlin just because of in terms of the strength of the squad. No, you mentioned Mark Leonard coming in, and I agree, he's been brilliant. But see if you had him and Devlin and Beningame all competing or coming off the bench. Same with Braga and Shankland. Now they've got Matos up front, but they need strength and depth. And just with those two in particular missing, it is hindering them a wee bit just now. I think they'll need them back as quick as possible.
I think one thing to say is, Scott, Celtic haven't got to go to Tynecastle post-split.
Yeah. Is that right? So
Hearts go to Celtic Park.
Right. Yeah.
And I've got a funny feeling that might be the final day of the season.
Imagine that. Well, see, I was going to say there, I put the table up on the screen there a wee minute ago just to point out that 11 games left for Hearts. See, if you think about it, Celtic and Rangers have to play each other a couple of times. Really, what do you need from that 11 games? 8 wins to win the title? You'd have thought 8-9 wins. I know it's hard to predict, but all I'm saying is Hearts could be 8 games away from winning the title. I mean, definitely no reason to lose heart.
No, I'm just trying to work out the kind of points total that would what we're saying, 8.
They'd have
another 24 points on top of 57.
71.
It's not a lot of points, is it, to win a league? But it does look as if, you know, at one point I thought 85 points would be required for the title this year. It's looking as if it's going to be a lot less than that now. I think if you can get above 70 towards mid 70, that might be enough. But I mean, you genuinely can't take your eyes off it, and you don't know what's coming next. It's so mad. We'll talk about what went on at Rugby Park earlier on today, which again is just literally glued to every second, every kick of the ball, and it's brilliant for Scottish football. What a shot in the arm! It's just, and I hope everybody, and I know everybody's all over this. Everybody's gripped by it. As I said, I think it might not be great for anxiety levels up and down the land, but wow. I mean, it's what the game's meant to be all about.
Chris points out in the comments, 81 points that would be.
Yeah, you can't count, Daniel. I was going to butt in there. I thought, no, I better not.
Thanks.
That's right. That's right. 81.
81. There you go. My maths teacher at right now is watching us. Like
that would be 8 wins. I don't think they're far off, Daniel. I think out of the 11 games, if Hearts get 8 wins out of that, they'll not be far off, because can you see Celtic and Rangers going and doing much better than that in the 11 games, winning 9-10 of those 11? Know the way it's been so far, know the way the season's been so far, with taking an incredible run.